But yes, I dare say we can create an opening wide enough for at least one of us to slip through. That being you, of course, though others are welcome to follow in your wake. Reen and I will keep our guests occupied.
Brave and selfless as ever. Yet the two of you may struggle to fool our foes, etherically sensitive as they are. Had you a comrade who could use destructive magics to wreak havoc upon the ambient ether, on the other hand?
Oh my god, look at these jobbers being so cool.
Very well. I too shall assist in the diversionary effort.
Oh, not this old dance again. Yes, obviously I'll stay and fight. Alphino, I'm about to do a great many stupid and reckless things. Watch my back, would you?
Oh god.
And there you have it. Take care of yourself, my friend.
Be a sage already.
We'll do our best.
Dun, dun.
Finished? Then let's begin.
Short while earlier in the ocular.
Tis done.
Oh, let me see, let me see!
Oh god.
Oh, yes! Your memories are preserved safely within. We've done it at last!
I have inspected the other vessels. They are all ready to receive of our friends' memories.
Oh, excellent! Excellent! I shall have my familiars bear word to them at once!
I think Elidibus is gonna show up. Of course he is.
Elidibus.
It was not until I observed the battle between Emmet Selk and the Warrior of Darkness that I realized what I must do. I will summon heroes from other worlds unto the first, just as you did.
Shit.
Their presence shall serve to empower me, granting me the strength to crush my enemy.
Though it pains me to disappoint you, I feel compelled to explain that the magic in question requires no small amount of preparation.
Oh god, my eye.
But you assume I require my champions to be summoned in their entirety. I do not. Their souls needn't even be whole. My purpose requires no more than their burning desire to vanquish evil. This I shall sear upon the ether, raising thereby an army of phantom heroes to whom I shall whisper, as I have to so many over the ages. Here lies darkness. It must be destroyed.
And you expect me to cooperate?
I do not require your cooperation. Your death will suffice. The magic I shall have from your corpse.
Go, Luma! We must flee!
Oh, come on. One hit?
But what is this?
Ugh. Oh, do not tell me.
My friend, how did you... No matter, Elidibus. He took us unawares.
Do not tell me he's dead. She's dead. Oh, God. Okay, he's alive. She's alive.
It was all we could do. To raise a ward to hinder his steps. And so we fled. But he took it. The vessel with the Exarch's memories.
Ah, that's how he got it.
Forgive me. Forgive me.
The vessel bears not only my memories, but my blood. The blood of Allegan royalty, granting him the means to control the tower. With it, he has performed I know not how many summonings, calling forth heroes from across the rift. And, as you can see, the burden upon the tower is beginning to tell.
Shit.
No, I won't let you go alone. Not this time.
Yes, you are.
Elidibus has exploited the people's nobility, twisted their purest intentions for terrible ends, and I cannot let it stand. As Exarch, it is my duty to protect them, to defend their hopes and dreams. So I am going to the Crystal Tower, with or without your blessing. Though, I would rather it were with.
Graha. Going balls.
Thank you.
I joined you, but I would only be a burden. Better that I remain here with my gremlins.
I shall send help. Stay strong, my friend, and take heart. By binding Elidibus within the tower, we have done more than simply delay him. Much like our adversary, I am not wont to show my hand prematurely, but the time has come to bring my strongest card to bear.
Oh shit. Woof. Okay.
To the tower!
This is to be it. Unmask. Also, I'll tank dungeons because they're, you know, we can all do them. But I will not tank trials. So I'm gonna have to Dragoon up in this bitch. Alright. And yes, I still use my Chocobo. He is my buddy. I use him all the time still. I have other mounts, but I will forever use him. I'm going on without reading. Our friend Becklug lies wounded in the clearing to the west. Pray go to their aid with all haste. Wait. Pray go to their aid with all haste. There? At once, my lord. May I ask how they came to harm? There have been reports of enemies in our midst, specters who appeared after the star shower. Do they have something to do with it? Yes, the man who attacked Becklug is responsible for the star shower and the appearance of the specters. I have no time to explain, but know that the individual in question does not seek to do indiscriminate harm. If you do not bear his servant's path, they will not turn on you. You are to leave this foe to us, understood? Meanwhile, I ask that you alert the rest of the guard and focus on maintaining calm in the city. Understood. Oh my god, her. She's so good. Lena. I shall take charge of matters in the city. Find Becklug now. No time to explain. The graver the matter, the less inclined you are to speak of it, even when it is plain for all to see, like what is happening to you. Lena, this time, there truly is no time. I know, my lord. Where matters otherwise, I believe you would be willing to speak of your past, if pressed. Yet, I remain afraid to do so. Afraid that what I might learn would make a stranger of you. Forgive me. There is no time. Man, I want them to end up together. Indeed, time must be made. Nina, do you remember the time you got lost in the tower when you were little, and I searched for you for hours on end? And the cake I baked for your 10th name's day, that hideous lump the good people of the mean covered up with beautiful candles? And your hapless first encounter with the Sin Eaters as a guard, Afterwards, you threw yourself into your training, pretending nothing was wrong, though I could see the tears in your eyes. All these moments that we shared, all the feelings that accompanied them, they are as real as aught that came before, and nothing will ever change that. Will ever change what we mean to one another. Oh my God. If I had made you worry, then I beg your forgiveness. Heavens know you deserve better. Through the darkest of times, you have kept faith with me, standing tall as a proud daughter of the Crystarium, as an example to us all. I count myself blessed to have had you in my life, and I want you to know that. Why do you speak so, as if this were our last meeting? Truly, you have a knack for making people worry. Besides, it is you who are an example to us all, you who have led us through countless trials, and you who will lead us through countless trials to come. So go, my lord, do what you must, but take care. Oh my God, it's so beautiful and heart-wrenching at the same time. Oh God, it hurts, oh my God, it breaks my heart. Oh my God. Oh, I want them to be together so badly. Oh, they at least put us right here. Nice. The ward holds. Excellent. Elidibus will still be within the tower. Our foe's sole purpose is to destroy you, and to that end he has summoned heroes from other reflections, empowering himself with their hope, even as they accompany your comrades. You will not best him as easily as you did in the depth, by any measure. The odds are now stacked firmly in his favor. To wit, spare no preparation, my friend. I shall lift the word only when you are ready. You may now enter the Hero's Gauntlet with a party of NPC avatars. To make use of this feature... Okay, yeah, we know that. Alright. Critical... Also, real quick. Yeah, that Malzar guy next to us, he was on the... Okay, yeah, he was. Okay, I was a little confused there, but yeah, he was. Okay, hopefully I can remember how to play Dragoon now. Hope's Confluence. No, Confluence. Alrighty, God. Okay. You know, it wasn't so long ago that I watched you seal the place up. A little banter before we go. Before I began my slumber, you mean? Seems rather longer to me, but yes, what a strange symmetry. This time I break the seal, and I have no intention of locking myself away again. Nay, together we will enter, and together we will leave, in triumph. So come, my friend, let us be about it. Oh, God, it's so... Oh my God, they even have the intro. That's the intro song, right? I'm positive.
Not here either. We must keep climbing.
His leg.
Twas but a matter of time. I cannot keep up with you, nor will it avail us to make a stand here. You must go on without me. Find Elidibus and stop him. Worry not, my friend.
Oh, God.
Though I am no warrior, I have learned to hold my own over the years. When first we explored this tower, you and your fellow adventurers formed the van, while I was left to follow in your wake. Suffice it to say, I was not best pleased with the arrangement. How I wished that I could join you. And now I have, here where it all began.
Oh my God, so beautiful.
I was right to trust in you, and the power of your legacy, of your name, to let them guide my every deed.
For Elidibus is my name, and my mission, guiding my every deed.
Did you never consider other paths?
I did, but I chose not to walk them, thank the gods. Why ever would you ask me such a thing? Elidibus spoke in similar terms, you say? How curious. To answer your question, then, I made my choice for reasons which seemed obvious to me, but may not to any other. There were the expectations I placed upon myself before beginning my slumber, and the expectations of those who roused me. Of course, I had the choice to turn my back on a lot of it, but in the end, it was no choice at all. I cherish the time I spent with you and the others. What I wouldn't give to return to those halcyon days. Chasing ancient secrets, overcoming trial after trial with the aid of like-minded comrades. And what remarkable comrades they were. In such company, I felt as if I were a character in the epic tales that had stirred my heart as a boy. As if my dream had come true.
Damn it, Kraha, you're making me super emotional.
It hadn't, of course, for I was no hero. Neither then nor after. Though the world to which I awakened and the first were beset with myriad problems, I rarely knew how best to play my part. There was, however, one thing of which I was certain. That I could not bear to let those dear to me meet a tragic end.
Oh shit, hold on. No, not that one. Nope, not that one. Hold on. My phone's dying. Emergence brake, but sorry.
I'm afraid our time is up. Go!
Man.
Rest assured, you haven't seen the last of me. I wouldn't dream of playing my trump card save in your presence.
Oh, man.
Break!
Memories of a possible future. Worthless. All. Worthless as memories of the only past. Fated to fray and fade into oblivion.
I beg to differ.
Leaving naught but a gaping void. The Waking Sands. Yes, that was the place. The place I first made myself known to you and yours. The Seventh Rejoining had left the realm listing dangerously towards darkness, and events were unfolding that threatened to push it over the brink. Thus did I approach you in my capacity as emissary, thinking that you would make a useful pawn. But I was wrong. And for my misstep did La Habrea and Emet-Selch pay the ultimate price, leaving me the last of the Unsundered. My remaining brethren, fragmented as they are, cannot hope to see our mission to its end. It falls to me alone. Defeat is not an option. I will strike you down. I will resurrect Lord Zodiac, and I will bring back those who sacrifice themselves to call him forth. Though it take 1,000 years, upon my honor as Elidibus, emissary of the Convocation of 14, I will see this done.
But know that his devotion is not without reason, even if he himself can no longer remember what that reason is. You worry too much, Elizabeth. This dedication to your duty verges on obsession. Ooh. Those who once relied upon you are no more. However hard you struggled, you'll never bring back the convocation.
What of it? I have my mission. I am Elidibus, and it is my duty to steer mankind and the very star upon their true course. This I swore to someone. We spoke, and I swore. What? What did I... This pain, this torment, is nothing. No more than must be suffered to deliver the world from its doom. No more than any of you malformed creatures have known. Even should you lose all that is dear to you, even should it cost you your life, you bear the burden and fight on, kicking and screaming until your last breath is spent!
Aye, it's true. We've lost much and more. Known unimaginable suffering. But through it all, we never, ever forgot what was dear to us. And that's what gave us the strength to carry on.
Oh, using those words, I gotta.
No. No. It will not end here.
Oh, man.
Champions from beyond the rift, heed my call. The time is come to deliver your brethren from darkness. My heart's sole desire is a world free of sorrow. Join with me now in hope and prayer for the salvation of all. If you would usher in the end, then with my all shall I oppose you. As the avatar of those mortal heroes who fought unfalteringly in all their imperfection. As the warrior of light incarnate. Come, warrior of darkness. Let us finish this.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Here I commit the Chronicle of the Traveler, shepherd to the stars in the dark. Though the world be sundered and our souls set adrift, where you walk, my dearest friend, fate shall surely follow. For yours is the 14th seat, the seat of Azim. Azim, we're the 14th.
An invocation of Eld. though not of Hydaelyn's making. What are you? No, it matters not. You are the enemy, and you will fall.
Holy
Even
shit.
should it cost me everything, I will not forsake my duty.
Seed of sacrifice. Alright, here we go. Oh, God. This is gonna end horribly. Warrior of Light, Elidibus.
For my people, for our world, I will strike you down.
Oh man. I hope that other tank knows what he's doing, because I have no clue. Okay.
This battle shall be our last.
What a dickhead he's turned out to be, making me be the tank. What is this? I don't know what this means.
Be gone, Lord of Shadow! Darkness must be destroyed!
Was that right or was that wrong? I don't know. Whew! Oh shit. What? 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 Holy. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh no. Holy shit balls. You clutch the crystal of Azim to your breast and wish upon it with all your heart. For Azim. And so it ends. An unceremonious silence. Unceremonious. Holy shit.
It cannot be.
Was that Emmett?
To me, warriors of light!
What the?
I am salvation given form. Mankind's first hero and his final hope. For victory, I render up my all. Your demise will be ours.
Holy shit, he has 4 bars.
You still stand. Be gone, Lord of Shadow! Darkness must be destroyed!
I did that too late. Shitball.
Knows no surrender. Oh, grant me strength.
I don't know what that means. That's not good.
Gleaming steel, light my path. gone! Spawn of shadow!
Holy ballsack. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna hope I'm doing it right.
Darkness must be destroyed!
Oh, what do I... Oh god. Holy shitballs.
Be gone! Beauty! No, not yet! Clad in prayer, I am invincible!
Oh my god, you LB'd when he's invincible.
Darkness must be destroyed!
Holy shitballs. Whew.
No, I cannot fail. I will not.
Obviously healer. I'll go with Raya. Woo! Suck it, dude. Holy cow. That was awesome, though. Very cool. I've never tanked a trial before. I've done dungeons. I do dungeons, but trials, I usually go as melee. It's too much responsibility.
Fool! You have achieved nothing. I am immortal, yet I will never surrender.
Elidibus, so fixated were you on my memories of the future, you failed to heed the lessons of the past.
Oh my god, you're so badass.
Blinded you to the true nature of this tower. This beacon of hope for mankind.
Oh wow.
Created to serve as a reservoir for the limitless energy of the heavens. To harness and bind the boundless. Not unlike white auracite.
Oh god, yes.
Your ill-begotten power, obtained by exploiting that which is best in us. I shall have it. Your soul and all!
Oh my god! So good. So badass. Oh my god. So good. So good. Oh my god. So good. Holy shit, Bob. That is so good. Oh no, though. Oh, is he a little kid? Was that why? He was always just a little kid?
This... Yes. I would become him. I would save everyone. This, I believed. Yet still they cried out in rage and despair. Divided over the fate of the star. A rare occurrence, always fleeting. But not this time. Not this time. Reconciliation. Elizabeth. I was needed. I withdrew myself from Zodiac. For them. My people. My brothers. My friends.
Oh my god.
Stay strong. Keep the faith. At duty's end, we will meet again. We will. We will.
Wow.
The rains have ceased, and we have been graced with another beautiful day. But you are not here to see it.
Wow. Holy cow. Wow, wow, wow. Oh god.
I concede I may have overexerted myself.
Oh, shit.
Steady now and listen. I told you before that I had a plan, and that when all is said and done, I would ask a favor of you. We have averted the 8th Umbral Calamity. Found a way for everyone to return to the source. And, last but not least, we have secured the future of all the people of Norvrand. We have won, my friend.
Oh, man.
So, I hope you'll forgive me this moment of selfishness, and while I wouldn't want you to feel obliged, promise me you'll take me on your next adventure. A journey. Together. That's all I ask.
Oh, God, my heart. My heart! Oh. I'm not gonna be mean.
If I were to tell you that this isn't the end, that we will meet again, would you believe me? Thank you. My friend, with you, my mind and memory shall travel to the ends of the world and beyond. But in this place shall my body stand immovable. May it serve as an undying promise, not only to those who look to me for leadership, but to any soul who has known despair.
Oh, man.
That hope is everlasting.
Lena, god damn it, man. Oh my god. It breaks my heart for Lena.
There, the Exarch would remain, keeping his silent vigil. When the Scions were not released from his summoning spell, we proceeded with the plan to return them to the Source. The Warrior of Darkness, however, retained his ability to traverse the two worlds at will. And in time, the Crystal Tower became a symbol of his link to the First, and of hope.
Damn. Oh my god. So many emotions are running through me right now. Oh my god. So many different emotions. Ere we descended from the throne room, I did chance upon an object which I have the right of it did once. Mine apologies. Mayhap now is not the appropriate time. Let us speak of it later. Shortly after you left, we observed that our enemy's ranks were no longer being replenished, presumably when your absence was noted, so we polished them off and came as quickly as we could. Which is to say, not quickly enough. But then you had the Exarch for the company, didn't you? And you could ask for no better than that. You did well, Tenon. You and the Exarch. At such moments, it is hard to know what to say. Are you alright, my friend? Sometimes I wish that I too have been gifted with the echo. Then I might see what you have seen and glimpse into your heart without the needs for words. Oh man. Am I alright? I should be the one asking you. But yes, I'm fine, thank you. We all are. Still, man, oh my god, my heart. Oh, god. Feels, so many feels. The people are fine, the city's fine, and the star showers have stopped. It's almost as if we'd gone back to the peaceful days that followed the night's return. Almost. Oh my god. So angry. For Lena. I'm angry for Lena. Tenon, if you're ready, would you recount to us how the day unfolded? Ba-ba-ba-da. So you reached out to Elidibus at the last, and his heart was moved. I only did as you asked. Yep. I suppose you did. But the important thing is this. Though violence proved unavoidable, you did at least come to understand your foe. And in knowing his hopes and dreams do we best remember him and his legacy. So long as they remain unforgotten, the love he and his brethren bore for one another and the star may yet be rewarded. You said that an ancient came to your aid, but how is that possible? A gift from Emmet Selk. He knew of Elidibus' plight. Foreseeing his own death, he made provisions to bring Elidibus' suffering to an end, lest his friend be left to continue the struggle alone. Or so I wildly speculate. It is unlikely we will ever know the truth. The best we can do is remember the events as they happened, no more and no less. As the Ronkin so brightly put it, history is learned, not lived. Ah! There you all are. Oh, don't tell me it's Lena. Okay. I'm not ready for that. My friend, we were given to understand thou wert injured. Shouldst thou not be abed? Lie down at a time like this? Don't be absurd. I would have come sooner had the guards not made such a fuss. Now tell me, what's happened? Where is the Exarch? Oh, man. So we only have one thing now. You just do it one at a time? Reusable? I see. Tenon, will you show me his spirit vessel? Yes, both his soul and his memory seem intact. Good. Unlike the others, his aether was not highly charged, and so it did not seem necessary to employ a familiar for the imbuing. But I needed to be certain all the same. Oh, what a relief. Then 'tis but a question of restoring his soul unto his flesh. And as thou didst lately tell me, the success of this process resteth on no more than our friend's soul recognizing his own flesh. His flesh as its own, sorry. Given his apparent desire to return to the source with Tenon, one would think his soul would be only too happy to be home, no? Surely it wouldn't balk at the relative newness of its accommodations. So one would hope, but none can speak for the Exarch's heart of hearts, and he can no longer speak for himself. Furthermore, though I have drawn upon all of my not unconsiderable experience to predict the outcome, the fact remains that there is no direct precedent for what we are attempting. Well, shit. Ugh. Will his body accept his soul? Will his essence blend properly? Will he awaken whole of mind? Any number of things could go awry. Man, Jesus. If you played this, tell me how you felt when this part came up. Assuming I have succeeded in tempering your expectations, I should probably add that I did ask the Exarch if he still wished to return to the Source in full knowledge of the risks. A simple enough question, one would think, warranting a single word reply, yet the answer I received was rather longer than that, almost comically so. In fact, regardless of the respect for the man, I shall attempt to recite it with a certain amount of poetic license. As I grew older, the burdens I carried became ever more numerous, burdens which weighed upon my hopes, burying them deep within my breast, so deep that I couldn't be certain they were still there. But when I look around me, I am reminded that, no matter how deeply buried they may be, our hopes never truly disappear. No, they're always with us, guiding us, driving us. I see it in Vothri, who sought to vindicate his existence by creating his paradise. I see it in Ranjit, who forsook his life's cause in order to protect that which he held most dear. I see it in the people who chose to struggle rather than surrender to despair. And though our struggles may differ greatly, since the very beginning of time, they have all shared that one common thread: hope. We struggle because we have hope, and then when the time comes, I too will embrace mine. I will follow my heart regardless of the risk. And I will live with all my being, as befit one who has been granted a second chance. There. Told you it was long, and unspeakably sentimental to boot. One would think them the outpourings of a dewy-eyed boy, not the old man the Exarch seems to believe he is. There. Oh, come on! Though I told you it was long, one would think it seems to be. What? I meant, no, there was something else there. Ballsack. I mean, really, he's scarcely been alive as long as I've been in hiding. I dare say he is blushing in his vessel. Speaking of which, we should make ready for our journey. Time remains of the essence, after all. Needless to say, once we leave, there is no guarantee that we can return. If anyone has unfinished business, now is the time to see to it. I must pay a visit to Slitherborough. Let us reconvene here anon. There remain some few matters which require mine attention in Ilmeg. May I leave Thancred in thy care, child? I've been meaning to get some flowers for Menphilia. I thought you might help me choose them, and then we can go to Nazboth Rang together one last time. A fine suggestion. Lead on. Well, it's back to Ilmore for me. Amongst other things, I owe the mayor an apology about his airship. I'm assuming she's going to Amarang. I assume you have places of your own to be, Alice. I shall see you later. She wants to finish with Halric. I shall take this opportunity to conduct a final inspection of the spirit vessels. Given what is at stake, one can never be too thorough. As you've probably guessed, I'm going to pay a visit to the inn at Journey's Head, but I want you to come too. I realize you don't need to say any farewells, but the Exarch does, if only in spirit, so I thought you might bring him along, so to speak. I'm sure he'd love the thought of being lugged about in on his hero's back. So let's be off, shall we? I can't wait to see how Halric's doing. Whew. Holy cow, man. Whew, baby. Is there no... Oh, there's not. Whatever. I'll do it later. Oh, I've never seen the maid little hat before. Cool. Halric? Halric? Oh gods. Don't tell me he's wandered off again. Quickly, Tenon. We have to find him. Oh, Alice. I didn't see you there. If you're looking for Halric, he's gone for a walk with one of the others. They are planning to visit the graveyard, if I'm not mistaken. Well, that's a relief. Shall we adjourn to the graveyard then? Adjourn to the graveyard then. Oh, greetings, Tenon. Looking for Halric by any chance? There he is. I was afraid he wandered off again. Oh, there's no need to worry. Yeah, right? There's no need to worry. Halric's safe and well, and he's been showing good progress, and likes to go for walks of late. Though his steps usually bring him to this particular spot. Oh, I wasn't aware he had family here. He doesn't. It's Tesleen. Her sword, that is. Oh, shit. Oh my god, again. The feels. We buried it here in her honor. So he remembers. He better. God, that cutscene still makes him look so evil. What brings you back so soon, out of interest? I didn't think the next round of treatments was due yet. Oh no, it isn't. Look, I realize this is sudden, but I've come to say goodbye. It's time for me to return home. But rest assured, the treatments will continue. Beglug will come to oversee them in my stead. I see. You did mention that you and your friends were searching for a way home. Needless to say, we'll be sorry to see you go, but I know everyone will be happy for you, truly. Happy and grateful. You've done so much for us, achieved what none of us dared hope was possible. And we'll see to it that your good work continues, and that no more poor souls are buried here before their time. So rest easy and take care. We wish you every happiness. Thank you. I will miss you all. Oh my god. But it isn't the time to say farewell, our farewells quite yet. So if there's any tasks that need doing, hunting beasts, fetching water, and what have you, just say the word. I mean, to make use of this very last moment we're here after. I mean, to make use of every last moment here, after all. The time left to you is precious. Holy shit, he's talking. That's right, Helric. That's exactly right. Those words will guide you true, so never forget them. And neither will I. Wow. Oh, God. Thank you for coming to see Halric, Tenon, and Tesleen as well. She did always enjoy having visitors, and none were more welcome than you and Ellie say. Take care. Damn. Beautiful. What? I'm not crying. I just have sand in my eye. That's all. As I mentioned, I mean to stay here as long as possible. In meantime, perhaps you could go and look in on the others. Alphinaud, for instance. If anyone is crying, it'll be him. Alright, BRB, 1 sec. Sorry about that. I'm sorry if you hear me chewing, but it's 11:30 here for me, and 11:30 at night, and I haven't eaten. She gets a voice, but at least Halric doesn't.
Please, Lady Chai, dry your eyes.
The thought of never seeing you again is more than my poor heart can bear.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, it's you. As you can see, Alphino has broken the news. I don't know how to console her. She thinks we'll be lost without him.
Time to have kids.
You'll never let me forget it, will you? I'll have you know I completed the promised painting in the end. Be that as it may, there are times only words will suffice.
Yeah, be cheeky. I like being cheeky.
Lady Chai, I have a confession to make. On the day we ousted Lord Vorthree, when I revealed the truth of his tyranny and your complicity in his crimes, I did so with great trepidation. Not out of fear that you wouldn't listen, but that you might never recover. There was a time when I, too, in my hubris, believed myself worthy to lord it over others. And when the lie was laid bare, when I was forced to confront the cost, the lives lost, it all but destroyed me.
Character growth. So important. And so well done.
To awaken from a naive dream to so harsh a reality, I would have understood had you all surrendered to despair. But you didn't surrender. Far from it. You picked yourselves up and rose to the challenge. You found a path forward and the strength to walk it, and to keep walking it, day after day. Though what struck me is how much faster you found it than I did.
Really? That felt pretty slow to me. But rest assured, we'll make Yulmore into a nation anyone would be proud to call home. Eventually.
Damn it,
you can
sorry.
still come and go as you please, I believe. When we have good tidings to report, I may trouble you to be their bearer. There may also be less than good tidings, in which event I hope I can trouble you for your counsel.
I should be honored to provide it, Master Chai.
Oh, Alphino. I know you aren't one to sit still, but do remember to take your ease from time to time.
This is so great. But the one thing I wonder is, in the very beginning of Shadowbringers, they talked about how the flow of time is different for them, but at this moment, they're at a moment of coalescence. So my thing is, how long does that coalescence last?
And no matter where you are, remember that there are people here who are praying for your health and happiness. Our brave and gentle artist. You have our love, now and always.
And you mine. Please take care.
Makes me wonder, what are... Because I know Louis Soir was there with his grandfather, but who are him and Alice's parents? Like, do they have a mother and father? I mean, obviously they have a mother and father. I'm saying, like, where? I hear the airship crashed in Almarang. Never mind, the important thing is you're all safe and well. That said, we should probably retrieve the wreck before the locals strip it for the trolley parts. Or perhaps we could make a trade for it. That's one thing I forgot to say. During the Gauntlet of Heroes, the fact that the people come out and the Talos come out from Twine to help you was very cool. Very awesome. Oh, thank goodness you can still return. If I had to bid farewell to you both, my heart would burst here and now. Like Alphanod, I know that yours is a life of constant employment, but do visit us from time to time. It would mean the world to us. I understand the Exarch will be leaving with you. Capable though its custodians are, the Custarium will be poor for his absence. It seems the coming years will be a period of transition for both our cities. But through mutual cooperation, I am confident we will find a way forward. Yeah, honestly, I mean, it's his choice to leave to begin with, but kind of it's not by his choice. And again, my heart breaks for Lena, man. Oh my god. Heart breaks for her. 'Tis a strange feeling, Tenon, to stand in the company of our friends, knowing that I will never see them again. I struggle to reconcile it in my mind. But this I know, I shall cherish my memories of Novrant, of every soul I've met here, for the rest of my days. And I shall look forward to your tales of their endeavors. The journey continues. Okay. Forgive me. I realize now that I've never asked you, what business brought you here? Can I be of assistance? Alice said that, did she? Well, as you can see, I'm quite alright now, unlike her, by the sound of it. Perhaps you might consider visiting Orion J next. Given his conversance with the idiosyncrasies of the Fae folk, I doubt it will be an issue, but a small part of me worries that they may not relinquish him willingly. As such, I would feel better if you were to look in on our friend, assuming you have the time, of course. I have nowhere to be. Yeah. Oh shit, we should go see Titania. Titania? Whatever. The Queen. King. Ha! That I should have the pleasure of welcoming a guest even as my own occupation draws to a close. What bringeth thee hither, my friend? So thou would grant the Exarch a final tour of the realm which has been his home these 100 years? A noble gesture. As for Master Alphinaud is concerned, thou mayst rest assured that all is well here. Far from detaining me, our Fey friends have agreed to assist in the transportation of these tomes into the Cabinet of Curiosity. Not more remaineth to be done. Regardless, 'tis well that thou didst come, for I had been meaning to show something to thee. An object I chanced to find after thy victory over Elidibus. Though it has lost its radiance, tis unmistakably a crystal of light, one that did, in all likelihood, once belong to Ardbert. Having been interred with his body, it would have remained upon his person after his possession of Elidibus. And when his mortal form was, forgive my indelicacy, consumed by thy foe to feel his transformation, I posit that the crystal did tumble free. Save that which doth abide in thee, it is all that remaineth of our friend, and if thou art willing, I would have thee deliver it unto Seto. I can think of no worthier recipient than he, and no more fitting a bearer than he. As ever, thou wilt find the Amaro in Waldorf. My thanks, Tenon. It's funny because I keep saying my own name as Tenon, but I know some people, when I first showed them the name, they kept saying Tenon. They would imply the non really hard. But for whatever reason, I would just say Tenon. And I don't know, at least that's the way I say it. And that's how I picture the character in my third story, is how he says it. And I'm an idiot, I could have just warped here, but whatever. Ah, full glad am I to see you safe and well. Rumor spoke of strange spectral foes bent on your destruction. But with the sky returned to normal, I assume all is well again? To what do I owe the pleasure of this visit?
Is that Ardbert's crystal? So it is. It has changed, but I would know it anywhere. However, did you come by it? Then, even in death, his enemies found a way to profit from his sacrifice. Oh, it grieves me to think of his body being used for evil ends. But thanks to you, his honor is restored, and he may finally find peace. No words can express my gratitude. I will keep this crystal safe to the end of my days. Rest easy, my friend. You have earned it.
Oh, man.
Pardon? Very well.
Oh my god.
Oh, how can this be?
Oh man.
Seto, my old friend. You've grown.
Oh shit.
Oh, Artbert, how I've missed you. I'm sorry I couldn't keep you safe, or even console you.
Damn. They are laying on the fields here, man. Holy crap.
Had I only learned to speak sooner, I would have told you how much you meant to me, how much I cared.
I knew. I always knew.
Damn, man. So beautiful.
But I'm happy to hear it nonetheless. Thank you, Seto. My partner in crime.
I see. His journey continues. Then I will not yet bid him rest. With you, he may look forward to many more adventures. It has been a while since last I flew. Perhaps I too will go on a little adventure? Ride the winds, seek the horizon? Yes, I think perhaps I will.
Oh my god. Ugh. Right here. Oh, right here in the fields. Oh god. They are just hammering it. Man, if my chocobo could get that big, would be awesome. And that whole sequence makes me appreciate my chocobo even more. I see so many like people, streamers, YouTubers, like they get different mounts and they completely forget about their chocobo. They even get a black chocobo, and it's just like they get all these different mounts. I don't have that many, obviously, but they get so many different mounts, and they go through them, and they don't give their original companion any love anymore. And that breaks my heart, man, because this guy, I still call on him when like I'm playing, when I'm doing solo stuff. I'll call him and he'll fight next to me still. And it's just like, dudes, I will never. I'll never get rid of him. He's gonna be forever my companion. Where's his? Yeah, there's his appearance. Yeah. I made mine gray. Yeah, he's ash gray, and I like him just like that. Let's just see his face. There you are, buddy. So many people just leave their chocobos behind. Not me. Buddies till the end. Why tidy up knowing you can do it never? Haha, cool. Ah, thou art returned. Tell me, how did Theto receive thine offering? Remarkable. 'Twas fated that thou shouldest be one to undertake this task, I think. As Arbort liveth in thee, so too shall he and his comrades live on in the hearts of the people of Novarent. And their tale, now rightly told, shall inspire new warriors of light for generations to come. I bit more than I can chew. Damn it. Now, assuming thou intendest to continue thy tour, might I suggest Slitherbow as thy next destination. Oh, hiccups. Shit. The task of tidying up one's abode is seldom light work, yet I suspect Ishtola is heavier than most. Suffice it to say, a pair of helping hands might not go amiss. Oh yeah, that one guy who's in love with her is gonna go crazy. He's gonna be so sad. And what is this? Have you come to spy on me? Does Urianger truly think me so slovenly? The nerve. Loath as am I to disappoint, I put my affairs in order some time ago. I've even bade my farewells. To everyone save Ranar, that is. He's nowhere to be seen. Yeah, he's avoiding you because he loves you and he doesn't want you to go.
Master Matoya.
Oh, God.
For too long I have remained silent, but no longer. I could not bear it if you were to leave. Please, stay. I beg of you.
Oh, man, this... Oh, this guy.
Runar, please.
Oh.
I jest. At least in part. What I came to say is this. Thank you. Without your wisdom, your strength, and your kindness to guide us, our people would still be lost.
Damn, dude.
We will never forget you, Master Matoya. Wherever your journeys may take you, you will always be in our hearts.
And you in mine. Remember that your people's journey, that our people's journey is yet ongoing. Your lives will change, and so too will your dreams. Yet come what may, you need not forsake your time-honored traditions, nor less your beliefs.
But neither should you be beholden to them. For it was with curiosity and courage that the Knights Blessed first triumphed over adversity. New knowledge and new wisdom are ever worthy of pursuit.
Indeed they are. And so, until we return to the Sunless Sea, we shall endeavor to live our lives to the fullest.
That is well. But however great your strides, there may yet come a day when the challenges you face cannot be surmounted alone. On such a day...
On such a day?
You may call on me.
Oh, that's it? Oh, I thought she was going to say something more.
Since a means to travel between worlds exists, you can be sure I will find a way to employ it.
Nice.
And there remain so many mysteries here that want for solving.
Oh, and the wink there. Come on, girl. Stop flirting.
Master Matoya!
Runar, really?
Oh, God. Even though she's my waifu, I love her much, but you can have her. Fine. I like the way you guys look together. Yeah, please take good care of Master Matoya. See that she eats well and wraps up warm on cold days. And there's herbal tea which she enjoys. If I give you the recipe, you could make it for her, perhaps. And above all else, please keep her close. I do not deny that she is strong, but even the strongest among us should not be alone. Honestly, he's a boy in the body of a man. Anyway, it's time we headed back to the Crystarium, shall we? You still have to take the Exarchs to Nabeth Arang. I see. Very well. You can look in on Thancred while you're about it. His will be a difficult farewell. I am sure he would appreciate your support. The path goes through Twine. If you await there, you are like to meet him on his way back, if not before. It's good to see you, looking none worse for wear. Let me guess, you're here to ride the trolley too. Don't ask me how I know, just can tell. You too? What is this, my bloody name's day? I see. Yes, Thancred is here and Rin too. They said they wanted to go to Nabeth Arang, so we gave them the use of the trolley. That's right, the old girl's up and running again, but we didn't just put her back together, mind you. No, with a little help from Master Chai, we made her faster and stronger. Oh yes, the future of trolleys is looking brighter than ever. Whisper it, but I reckon it might be time to reach for the stars with a trolley to dwarf all trolleys. If you ask me, we'd better off making them smaller. That way we can fit in narrow shafts. But that's genius. Why didn't I think of that? Enough. You can daydream in your own time. In case you've forgotten, our priority is to have more working trolleys. That's why we turned to Chai's Nuz, by the way, not to make the one trolley you've gotten to go faster. We needed help getting a few Talos back in working order, see? We were testing them out when your airship came crashing down. As a matter of fact, you seem to have a habit of crashing things. We're back. Our thanks for the loan, Brother Trolley. Lieutenant, what are you doing here? Don't tell me the others are waiting for us. What a relief. At any rate, we've done what we came to do, which means I'm ready to leave. Or as ready as I'll ever be. Not to pry, but what's going on? You off somewhere? You could say that. So you're heading home. I'm just a simple miner and I don't know much about this world-traversing business. But the young lady here, she'll be looked after, will she? I'll be fine, thank you. I have a place to stay at the Crystarium, and I don't want for anything. Besides which, I've recently made a new friend. Her name is Gaia, and she'll always be there if I need her, just like you lot. Which I have to do also. I try to do the things in order, and I think the last of the 8-man raid is not after this. I think it's 6.4 where I can do that. Anyway, so please don't worry. I'll be fine, really. If you say so. It being a matter of life and death, I suppose you have to leave. But I for one would still be torn. If the choice were mine, I'm not sure I could bear to be parted from my family. No, but it's for the best. Rin has chosen to walk her own path, and she doesn't need me under her feet. Besides, I have my own responsibilities, and I wouldn't be setting a very good example if I neglected them. Perhaps not. Either way, I envy you in your dilemma. Well done, young lady. If there's anything you need, anything at all, you're to call on us. It may surprise you, but we can do more than simply offer you trolley rides. Thank you, Magnus. Everyone. Shall we then? If you've nowhere left to visit, we can go back to the Crystarium together. Actually, hold on. 1 minute here, hold on. Sorry, give me 1 second here. Hold on. Come on, come on, come on. Nope, that's not it at all. Son of a bitch. Okay. Yeah. Sorry about that. There we go. Sorry if I missed anything. Oh, it's you. You're probably wondering why I'm not with the others. It's just, I always knew that everyone would leave one day, and I always hoped and prayed that we would find a way to send them home. But now that the time has come, I just feel lost and lonely. I don't want our last moments together to be sad. I want to hold myself together, just long enough to say the things I need to say, but I'm not sure I can even do that. I'll be there with you. Sniff. Alright. Thank you, Tenon. I think we all feel braver with you around. Go on ahead and join the others. I'll be along after I've taken a few deep breaths. Aww. I thought it would be easier after saying farewell, but each step I took out of Ilmore felt heavier than the last. I did everything I could in the time I had, no regrets. I took the liberty of informing the Crystarium leaders of our imminent departure. It seemed only right. I trust the Exarch had a pleasant tour of the realm. Ooh, it's magically daytime.
That's everyone then. We've all said what we needed to.
Aww.
Even as we speak, Backlog undertaketh their final inspection of our spirit vessels. When thine own preparations for the journey are complete, thou art to present thyself in the ocular.
Everyone? I want to thank you all, on behalf of the First. You, and Minfilia, and the Exarch. Without each and every one of you guiding us, fighting for us, we wouldn't be standing here now. there wouldn't even be a here. And no words can express our gratitude. We still have a lot to do. Countless trials to overcome. But if it ever seems too much, I'll think of our time together. The happy moments, and the sad. I will remember it all. And it will give me the strength to carry on without you. Because you made me who I am. Minfilia. Reen. To honor these names and these memories, I will stand with all the people of this land and strive for a better tomorrow.
Show Thancred last, because he's the papa.
Thancred, I believe the honor of responding should rightfully be thine.
I know better than most how much you've grown, and I have every confidence you'll make your people proud.
Just hug her. Why pat her on the head? Just hug her.
Gods know I'm proud of you. I always will be. You deserve all the happiness in the world, and more.
Hug her, damn it.
Might we also say a few words?
Oh, Lena again. Breaks my heart. You're not going nowhere.
This is just about all of you.
To see you off seemed the least we could do. You risked your all for us, fought for a realm not your own. Before you came, we had never known the beauty of the night sky. Or the joy of your company. Though it saddens us deeply to bid you farewell, it has ever been our way to send off friends with a smile. Wherever your road should lead, we shall pray for your safety. And following your brave example, we shall continue to fight for the Crystarium.
With or without us, you've always taken good care of this city. I don't doubt for a moment you'll continue to do so.
I, a more resilient people we have never known. As resilient and enduring as the tower that watches over you.
To the last, we did not question the Exarch about his past. It is only now, when he can no longer tell us, that we believe we know the answer. We have heard what became of him, and what is about to be attempted. All will be well. Of this we are certain. How could it be otherwise, when every soul in the Crystarium is praying for it with all their heart? And so, when our Lord awakens, I bid you give him a message.
Oh god, I'm gonna cry.
Tell him he needn't worry about us.
Oh my goodness.
That he need no longer hide who he truly is. That he should live his own life to the fullest. And that if he should ever find himself reminiscing on the past with a smile...
Oh, God.
We shall be smiling with him.
Oh my God.
Will you tell him this?
I want so badly for her to reunite with Graha. Oh my God. I just want them to be together.
Thank you. Please look after him for us.
I dare say we have all the good wishes we can carry. Let us be on our way.
Oh, God. Man, I this close to just bawling. This close to just crying. So, modeled upon no one in particular. No, really. Yeah, sure. Oh, God. Reflections in crystal. Her heart laid bare, Rin appears to be at peace again. Well, I suppose it's time. Are you ready, Tenon? Alright, let's not keep the others waiting. Oh, God. But yeah, definitely so very close to crying. I did not expect such a rousing farewell from the people. It was the very thing my spirit needed. Now all that remains is to return to the source. Till 12 know we have made Kryl and Tataru worry long enough. Angelo stands ready to work his magics on our souls. In the spirit of solidarity, I bid you carry the vessels as if your life depended on it. How many times have we few assembled thus in this storied chamber? Many and more, I think. Were the Exarch standing before us, the scene would be complete. Nay, 'twould be complete were he standing before us with Emmett Selk smirking in the wings. Since we cannot take our worldly goods with us, I want you to have my gunblade. Use it or sell it. It's all the same to me. So long as it serves you in some way, I will be satisfied. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Thancred. I'll treasure it. Aw. Ah, there you are. I take it you are ready for the journey. The spirit vessels are primed and our company complete. At a word from you, we shall begin. Use the beginning of the soul-imbuing ritual. Several cutscenes will play out in sequence. Alright, let's do this. It is recommended to set aside sufficient time to view these cutscenes in their entirety. We're good. Very good. I shall distribute the vessels at once.
All right, then. Pray proceed as instructed, beginning with your memories.
The first step is complete, and all appeareth to be in order.
Well, that just leaves our souls, then. We're in your hands, Angelo.
It is done! The vessels have received of both their memories and their souls. I hereby entrust them to your care. They belong to you now. Just be sure to guard them well, yes?
This will work, won't it?
It will.
Our theories have held thus far. But I make no promises about what is to come. Even the greatest mages in history knew better than to transport a soul across the rift. We, my dear, are in unknown territory. Prepare as we might, we cannot account for all possibilities. And it is in such circumstances that accidents are wont to occur. Yet miracles do happen. So let us pray and will our friends home.
I won't stop praying until I know they're safe.
Oh, God.
All safely stowed away? I do hope so. All that remains then is to step into the mirror. Go now, and safe travels.
Oh my God. Even though I know I'll be back, because I gotta do the last part of the raid for her. It's still moving. Very, very moving. Oh my God. How do you know who's who, though? That's Alice.
Did it? Are we?
We're home.
Oh, you're back. You're back. You're all back.
Oh.
Thank you. My body feels like a sack of popotos, but I've never felt better.
Oh god, Popotos, that killed me.
That said, I doubt any of us will be fit to travel for some while. May we leave the rest to you?
Of course.
The vessel beareth our comrade's blood. With it in thy possession, the way will surely open before thee.
What? But you've only just got here.
That's often odd.
Tataru, might I trouble you to brew us all a pot of your special tea? Ah, and we may require an extra cup.
Yours is a long road, my friend, and it stretches onto places beyond imagining. With your every step, these grand adventures shall grow more distant and faint. And there may come a day when you forget the faces and voices of those you have met along the way. On that day, I bid you remember this. That no matter how far your journey may take you, you stand where you stand by virtue of the road you walked to get there. For in times of hardship, when you fear you cannot go on, the joy you have known, the pain you have felt, the prayers you have whispered and answered, they shall ever be your strength and your comfort. This I hope, I believe, here at memory's end.
Some days later. Oh, they went back to wearing their old clothes.
What is it, Alize? Are you all right? Do you still feel under the weather?
Physically, I couldn't be better. Thanks to Kryle's ministrations, I'm already looking forward to our next fight. But seriously, don't you have anything to say about that?
Oh god, what are they doing?
No less impressive than our garments. You've outdone yourself, Tataru.
To give credit where it's due, I had help from a certain fiery pixie who visited me in my dreams. They gave me all the information I needed to get the details just right. For your weapons, though, I needed a lot more help. Thankfully, our favorite heads of state were happy to place their finest craftsmen at my exclusive disposal. Oh, and speaking of the Alliance leaders, they all expressed their unreserved elation at your safe return, and promise to come and see you in person as soon as they can.
They really needn't have gone to such trouble. But we'll be keeping these gifts all the same. Do pass on our gratitude.
I realise we haven't taken up new martial arts, nor have I ever been one to set much store by appearances. But I can't help feeling a certain lack of, I don't know, personal development.
I quite understand. But as you observed, the others had the more pressing need. Rest assured, our turn will come.
Oh god.
If I expend any more ether, I swear I will blink out of existence. I need a bite to eat. Tataru, a cup of tea, if you would be so kind. And something sweet.
By Mistress Kryle's exhausted state, may I assume that the ward hath been restored?
Indeed. We succeeded in weaving it anew, albeit at a slightly diminished potency than when I had Becklug's assistance. It is no cause for concern, though. The tower is not easily reached, never mind breached. And even should some few succeed, their presence won't escape my notice.
Excellent. Said duty thus discharged, thou art free to go wheresoever thy fancy taketh thee. Upon which note, hast thou perchance come to a decision? The offer remaineth open.
Well, if you're certain that's what you... I mean, if you think I...
Oh, just say yes already. Graha, really?
Right. I accept. Henceforth, I shall count myself a scion of the Seventh Dawn. Grahatia, at your service.
Oh! Chest! Oh,
when I was a boy, many long years ago, I yearned to stand tall as the heroes of Eld. But, like a fool, seeking to pluck the stars from the heavens, my every attempt to reprise their deeds fell short.
Help! Somebody help! Hippogriffs! Hippogriffs on the rampage! A giant flock of them! Please, we need help!
I could do with a little rampage myself.
What? Now wait, just a...
Oh.
Here we go again.
I will join the fray when I finished my tea.
Thus did the Avatar of Destruction descend, and in her wake leave naught but tears and ash.
And then, one day, an all but forgotten dream from my youth stood before me, in the flesh. So it was that a new adventure began.
Oh, shit. Oh, here's this bitch. Aren't you with someone?
The memory of a dying world's end. Night after night. And I thought it but a tired old dream.
I say, I knew that securing the palace would provide your radiance with depressingly little sport, but that you should fall asleep out of boredom. Splendid. Truly splendid. And my own preparations, you will be pleased to hear, proceed apace. Oh, yes. They proceed very well indeed. Frighteningly so. And we owe it not least of all to this singularly useful body I chanced to find. With the Populares now all but destroyed, it will be the simplest of tasks to discredit their groundless assertions that I met with a grisly end.
Oh, okay, yeah. Asahi.
And as the very
What
much
a piece of
alive
shit.
lord of House Brutus, I have a vast fortune at my disposal. Ah, money, 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 the great motivator. There is simply no better way to move men and expedite plans than with its alluring glint. Would you not agree?
What a piece of shit.
But wait, were we not acquainted, you and I?
Yep, there he is. God, what a piece of shit.
Should our familiarity cause you distress, I beg your forgiveness.
What did you say your name was?
Oh, a dagger through my heart, that my deepest desire should forever remain unfulfilled, to live unrecognized, to die forgotten. Oh. So it goes. Whatever this flesh may have been before, it serves only as a vessel now. And I, faithful Fandaniel, labor only to advance my lord's ambitions. Speaking of which, with the palace in our hands, we may now proceed with the next phase of the plan. But how very odd. Despite all our havoc-wreaking, old Elidibus did not deign to appear. Dare I hope that the last of the Unsundered is gone? Imagine it! Bound no more by the shackles of mouldering memories of damnable duty, free at last to live for the moment!
I hate this guy so much.
Your radiance, but give the word, and I shall go forth and prepare for you your hunting ground.
Oh, I hate him so much.
That which awaited was a fell beast. Ferocious, ravenous, remorseless.
Do as you will. It has been too long, my friend, and insufferably dull in your absence. When you return to me, you will share everything. Every blow will be a story unto itself. Every triumph, every kill. Rest assured, we shall have a fitting stage for our reunion. Oh yes, to reprise that transcendent moment, I will set this world ablaze. And we shall dance before the pyre.
God. Okay, him I'm fine with, but Van Daniel, Jesus Christ.
The beast shall kindle the flames of the apocalypse. Into its domain shall the hero set forth, for the final chapter in the tale of this star.
I'm told that Raha has shed some of the tenseness he had as the Crystal Exarch. If you ask me, he's more relaxed than he's ever been. Why, the Raha of old would leap down from a high place just to make a dramatic appearance, something someone did in some epic or other, and Alphanod wasn't so different. Still, I'm glad to have them back safe and sound, boyish insecurities and all. Everyone likes the garments I've prepared for them. The time I spent polishing my skills wasn't in vain. In case you're wondering, Gahatia is an outfit suited for traveling, while his weapon uses a piece of the crystal tower as the focus. Brilliant, right? Now, I know we probably shouldn't go around chipping bits off Allegan relics, but it was just one little piece. Ah, you're back. Tell me, Tenon, do you think I was excessively familiar earlier, in my tone and mannerisms? I thought it better to be familiar than formal, if we are to be comrades, but now I worry that I may have detracted from the gratitude and respect I harbor for everyone. Perhaps we might consider it a nod to my regrettably less than humble beginnings. Yes, that will do. Being free to live as one pleases is not without its challenges. In a way, it was easier when I had a mission that consumed my every waking moment. It provided me with a focus, a constant push in a singular direction. By the way, was casting spells always so draining? I had quite forgotten what it was like to do it without the tower. I've rarely felt so exhausted or hungry. Yet if all I did was bend the bow, I would be of limited use to you on your adventures, so I shall persevere. However, whoever I might have been before, I am now Scion, and an inexperienced Scion at that, a green initiate, eager to learn how best to contribute to the cause, that he might follow in the footsteps of his inspiration. Gahatia is now available as a trust companion. That's it. Patch 5.3 is done. Holy cow, 7 hours. Alright. That is where I leave us. Thank you for sticking with me this whole time. I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope you enjoyed my reactions. And I hope you have a good game and a good night. Peace.